Support police, defund liberals. Modern liberals' disdain for the military and law enforcement most certainly derives from the fact that these groups primarily support their political rivals. Unlike with other groups, they cannot easily use identity politics to force police and military members into distinct categories that can then be controlled under an umbrella of so-called inclusivity. Liberals repeatedly use this tactic to divide us from one another and then subsequently claim that such division is the fault of an unseen enemy like white supremacy, promoted by conservatives via dog whistles and coded language. Finally, they assert their moral superiority and declare that only their policies can fix such systemic problems in our country, which includes transforming or dismantling any organizations that stand in their way. While liberals have been somewhat successful so far in their attempts to remold the military from within, promoting woke individuals to positions of authority and taking on alleged extremism, that is conservatism, they haven't been able to infiltrate law enforcement to the same extent. They have thrown huge sums of money at winning local elections for district prosecutors and sheriffs, but despite some progressive gains for these positions, if anything, their takeover has exacerbated the distrust between rank-and-file law enforcement and liberals. Just as Americans generally show strong appreciation for the military, they should be just as enthusiastic in their support for law enforcement. Police are typically the first on the scene on an incident and provide first aid, maintain order, and engage with threats despite danger to themselves. The safety we take for granted every day is a direct result of the role police play in society, which makes it easy to forget their contribution and sacrifice. Those protesters and often rioters in America's cities, who continue to demand for law enforcement to be defunded, clearly do not have any comprehension of the fact that their ability to gather and express their opinions, however misguided, is enabled because police help maintain orderly communities. We must continue to push back on the narrative that there are systemic biases within law enforcement or the unrest will only grow worse. We need to increase our support for police and also turn inward to examine why our society is experiencing increased instances of crime that lead to interactions with police. Fingers should not be pointed at police, but perhaps we should point them at ourselves. What do you think? Do Americans provide enough support and appreciation to law enforcement? Vote now at pollred.com.